morning, everyone. Today is September 11th, a sad day in our history of America, but is a day today that we are going to start prepping our gardens for fall and do some fall planting. The last garden tour, I just have had some trouble uploading it, but I'll get it. It was a mid-August garden tour. Everything has come to an end, so you can see, not everything though, these tomato plants are actually flourishing for us, and these are the ones that we put in the pots. But Beth is down there. We're getting ready to prep, do some amending of the soil, putting some organic material, some compost, blood meal. We'll get to that and show you all the stuff that we're going to be putting in as we prep for our fall planting. Today, September 11th, 2021. We are in zone 7B, I believe. B or A. We're in north central Georgia. And we typically, we're just done with gardening after summer. And tomatoes are gone, and beans are gone, our melons are gone, all that's gone. And we're usually done. But we have found that there are fall crops like Brussels sprouts, kale, broccoli, things of that nature that we're going to go ahead and we're going to try. So come on down here. I'll show you what everything's looking like as we prep. And then we're going to show you as we move through the day. We'll be right back.
Hey everybody. Welcome to our very barren garden. So you can see from our beds where we had the squash before, where we had the sweet peas and the melons and the long beans, but they all pretty much died off on their own. And I pulled whatever else I had left out, put it over in the compost, so that'll be part for next year. But so today we're going to amend the soil, and basically what we're going to do is I'm going to pull up all the drip lines. First I'm going to take a picture so I can remember where they go, and then I'm going to pull up all the drip lines, and then Keith, if you'll come down, I'll show you how we're going to amend this. So especially in where the beans were, they take a lot of the nutrients out of the compost that we originally used to put in it. So I'm going to add some additional compost, since you can see the beds are a little low, and that's just from compaction. So we're going to add some compost. I'm going to leave the old straw in the bed, and I'm going to work it in along with the new compost, and then we're going to give some additional love. So we've got a general all-purpose granular fertilizer. We're just going to sprinkle it on the top, and basically after we plant and we put the drip lines back, and then what it's going to do is as it rains and the drip lines and the sun, it's going to force it down further into the roots when the little seedlings come up. We also have some worm castings we planted with this previously. We like it. It gives a lot back to the soil. And then I'm going to use the rest of my blood meal, and I'm probably going to use it in the bed where the beans were, because the beans take up the most nitrogen out of your beds. So this will be good for that bed. So that's what we were doing today, and it is already getting quite warm.
It is hot. It's very hot out here. And I'm just going to, hey, you want to take them for a walk back there? Let's see what's left of the garden.
So these guys back here are still going really hardy, and they're actually still producing. So this is all my peppers. So we've got jalapenos. You can see nice big chunky jalapenos. I just got done tying up, that's why I've got string rolling out of my pocket. I just got done tying up another row for this Florida line. You can see all of our little babies coming. So these guys are still doing a good job of producing, and there's plenty more flowers to come. And we got serranos back here. You can see these guys doing really nice. There's a nice red one there. These are pretty spicy though, so I don't use them at the same rate that I use the others. And then here are my red bell peppers. I've got a little baby right here, and the rest of them are green peppers. And I have a couple little ones you can see. And the white stuff is 7 dust. So we're having a huge problem with the cornworms and you'll see the distress that they can. So this plant had some very large hornworms on it, and it just ate an entire like stalk of it. So I found it, I cut it off, but you can see how the leaves are all curly, how much stress this plant has been under just from that happening. So hopefully I can bring it back to life and it'll live to grow another day, but there's not really any flowers on it. It's very stressed out. So I've been using 7 Dust, not necessarily on the hot peppers, but more on the bell peppers because they really, really like the bell peppers. Oh, look, there's another one. Yay! So hopefully this will continue to produce for a little bit longer. And then here's my little eggplants. These are my Hansel eggplants. They're so adorable. But you can see we got lots and lots of flowers. These guys, aren't they cute? They'll get to be about 3 or 4 inches, and they're great on stir fry, with stir fry. And then in front of that is my bed of strawberries, which hopefully we'll get some in the fall.
Well, what is this monstrosity?
Okay, so
let's talk about that.
these are my cosmos. Aren't they pretty?
Oh, they are beautiful, but they are invasive.
They are. I'm actually going to cut the ones that I still have left in the eggplant bed out because I found it's starting to shade it a bit too much. But I'm just going to let these guys go. I mean,
they're very pretty.
They're very pretty. So, and they eventually, as soon as it starts to get cold, they'll start to die off. And then they come back every year. Now, I don't know that I'm going to let them come back next year, just because they're
or we plant them somewhere else.
Yeah, they're just a bit unruly. So maybe I plant them on the other side of the fence.
Yeah,
or
keep down some of the weeds back there.
Yeah, so, but they're really pretty, and they also keep really well in water. So I'll cut a couple of them and bring them upstairs and put them in my office so that I could
enjoy them.
The
compost is doing okay.
Yes.
We still have peppers up here too.
We do. The serranos are really the only ones that have produced anything.
I want to stop. Look at this rose bush. Get under the trellis, honey. I want them to see. Remember this? I started this. If you go back and look at our planting tour, I started that in a little pot.
And it was about this tall.
Yeah, and now look at it. It has come over the top. But I think rather than let it go all the way over, I'm going to build a bed on the other side and put another rose bush and let them meet. Yeah, Freddie Flamingo's got to go. But in this bed, we did go ahead and plant some of our extra.
And they're doing, I mean, the serranos are producing. This, I think, though, it has some flowers on it now, so maybe we'll get something from it. I'm still not sure what it is, though.
Right.
It was just a random leftover pepper that I didn't have marked, so I planted it, and it hasn't produced anything until now. I see it's flowering again, so maybe we'll get something from it. And we have more peppers up here. This is a serrano, and this one is a bell pepper. But they're just, I mean, you can see they just don't get a whole lot of sun, although you wouldn't believe it from...
Yeah, where you're standing right now.
I know, but they just don't get a ton of sun. So
cucumbers are gone. You can see that.
Bye.
Yeah, when it got to, what was it, late August, mid-August, and it was just so hot.
When it was over 90
yeah,
every day, all day.
It was just, it said, I'm done, goodbye. And the herbs are still doing good, and the basil's growing. I think it likes a little bit. We're getting to the point now where it's like 65 at night. 80, supposed to be 83 today. It feels hotter than that. But the humidity is low. Bella's laying over in the compost. You're going to stink. Look at her. She doesn't like being filmed, but I'm going to go over there anyway. Bella, why are you laying in the compost?
Because it's cool. It's the only shady spot out here.
Yeah.
All right, get to work.
So,
Tomatoes are almost done.
that's what we've got going. The cherry tomatoes just produced like crazy this year.
Oh, they're so sweet.
I couldn't be happier. I'm going to eat this one.
Yeah, they're so sweet.
They're so delicious. Looks like something got to this one over here.
Yeah, we've had quite a problem with the hornworms this year. But I mean, I was able to refrain from having to use a ton of
Yeah, so we could just eat these when we came out.
yeah on the tomatoes. Everything else, I pretty much had to use some sort of a pesticide. But the tomatoes, I was able to keep. Well, and we had a lot of them. But I was able to not have to use a ton of pesticides on those. Although it meant every day being down here looking for
Yeah,
worms.
you had to be very diligent.
And then picking them off and cutting them in half.
Just
Blech.
gross. So we got work to do.
Time to
And
get
we'll show you as we progress. Hey, geese. Geese? Who's geese? It's time to start the work. Time to start work. Better get my gloves.
When a farmer comes out to do farm work without gloves.
Trying to carry quick filming.
Pick up. So I'm not sure if I should put the compost on first and then start working it in with the. I'm kind of feeling like maybe.
Oh, absolutely.
Put a bag.
And then the other stuff just gets raked in, right?
Yes, the other. Once the compost is down, then we'll rake in the blood meal, the fertilizer, and all that stuff.
Right. What do you want it?
I'm not sure. I don't really know what I'm doing.
Can't say that. You're on film.
Well, I mean, I watched the video.
Okay, see what we did. Planted the beds, we turned the soil, we put compost in, turned it, just turned the straw that we had on top to kind of keep the weeds down. Just turned that right in as organic material. Put down bags of compost, turned it in, put down 2 more bags on top, evened it out, put in the EB stone fertilizer, we put in the blood meal, and this one's a very nitrogen used bed. And what was that? Oh, in the worm castings that we put in. So put the irrigation down. We're going to let this irrigation will come on tomorrow, kind of wet this a little bit, let it soak down, and then we're going to come back tomorrow and we'll do our planting. So stay tuned. Wife brought me a beer. She can't open hers because she has nails. Cheers.
Cheers.
Good work. Here's to you. You don't want that there, do you?
Oh God, no. Where did this come from?
Don't know.
Oh, and I took all my tools out.
Here. Hi everybody. Welcome to an episode of Cooking with the Frisbees out in Little Acorn Farm. And it's day 2. Yesterday you saw us preparing our beds, amending them, putting fertilizer in them, and then today we're actually going to do our fall planting of the crops that we have. So, Beth, are you ready to get started?
I'm starting.
Beth, what are we planting today?
Well, my first is going to be carrots. We're going to do carrots towards the back, a couple rows of them, and then I am also planting sugar snap peas, direct sow into the ground. And then we have some seedlings that we got. This is romaine lettuce. We've got Brussels sprouts that are gonna go over there. We have broccoli right here. And then I'm also in this bed going to plant kale from seed as well. So let's get to it.
Time to get going, guys. So we don't have to put the fertilizer in the hole like we normally do because we put it in the beds. So all that starter fertilizer, the blood meal, the organic compost, pardon my finger, it's all in there.
Yeah, so the top of the beds are pretty dried out already today, but
We'll put some water in.
yeah. Get all these babies. So I already planted 2 rows of carrots back here.
Okay. Probably should mark those. We don't have our markers anymore, huh?
What do you mean by mark 'em?
With the little white stake. But we know they're back there. What's the germination time? And we're planting these, what, 12 inches apart? Okay.
Doesn't say. At least I can't see it.
Let's see. Doesn't really say. We'll have to see. Interesting, it says here, to prevent blight, practice 3-year crop rotation to control carrot rust fly, wireworms. Use fabric row covers. Just put this back in the box. So, you guys see, we'll come back after we get everything planted. But it shouldn't take too long, but love the fact that we are now moving into fall crop season. We're going to see how this goes. Whew. All right, well, that's it. This is Little Acorn Farms' first ever fall crop. We're going to see how it goes. We've got Brussels sprouts, we got spinach, we've got kale, we've got romaine lettuce, we've got carrots, we've got sweet peas. So everything is planted. The beds are all watered and mulched. Irrigation is still up. We're going to see how this goes. So look forward to the fall tours coming up this year. Everybody, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.